Hi friends, welcome to AWS Devops sessions. In this session, we are going to learn about creating volumes by using the command line approach. As we had already discussed in the earlier session, in three ways we can be able to create the Docker volumes. First thing is by using the Docker file, as we had already discussed in the last session. And here in this session, we are going to learn by using the -v tag how we can be able to create the Docker volumes. At the same time, how we can be able to mount the volumes over the containers. In this session, we are going to cover these two things. Fine. Here, if I want to create the volume, generally the Docker volume command starts with the Docker volume. If I want to create any volume, Docker volume, create volume name. If I want to remove any kind of volume, Docker volume, rm, volume name. If I want to like how I can be able to manage the volumes, I'm going to show now to you in a practical session. So then you will have the better understanding how the flow is going on. So first of all, by using -vtag, how we can be able to create the containers, we are going to discuss in detail with the lab session. I'm going to log on to the AWS console. Here as I have already Docker service, which is currently running state. I'm going to connect to the Docker service. Once it has been connected, I'm going to show to you by using the -v tag how I can be able to create the volumes. Here, simply type sudo -i. You are logged as a root user and check whether you have any Docker images are there. No. Whether you have any containers. No. Whether any volumes are listed. Docker volume ls. No volume. Simply there is nothing. There is nothing has been created right now in the server. Here I am going to pull the Ubuntu image. What is the command? Docker pull Ubuntu. It is going to the Ubuntu image. And if you want to check the same, just type Docker images. Had you observed it? Yes. Here I am going to create, as I have the image, by using the image, I am going to create the container. The command is docker run -it -name container1 by using the image Ubuntu. Here by executing this command, it is going to create the container1 by using the image Ubuntu. But here my requirement is different. Here I just want to use the -v tag in order to create the Docker volume. So if I want to use that, after container1 space -v space, what is the directory I'm going to create? I think XYZ. Okay, enter. Just check. It is going to showing some error. It is throwing error. So what is the error? Here after run, I just missed the space. Okay, docker run -it name. Right now by using the -v tag, I am going to create the Docker volume. Just enter. Yes, it has been created. Just type ll. Just check whether XYZ Docker volume is there or not. Here it is there or not? Yes, it is there. So change the directory to XYZ. Type ll. Here do you have anything? There is nothing. Here I am going to create touch file. So instead of files, I am going to create the Python files. Python 125. Enter. Just check ll. Here right now inside of the XYZ volume, you have the 5 files: Python 1, Python 2, Python 3, Python 4, and Python 5. Just come out of the directory and Control P, control Q in order to exit from the container without moving into the exited state. If you simply type control D or exit, it is going to the exited state. In order to avoid the same, just type control P, control Q. Then check whether your container is running state or not. Yes, your container is in the running state. So fine. Here I am going to create the one more container, but I am not going to create any volume for that. By using the existing volume, I am going to share the volume across the newly created container. That is nothing but container 2. Again, I am going to execute the command docker run hyphen it hyphen name container 2 by using the image ubuntu. But here I just want the same directory. So for that purpose, after container 2, what I need to mention hyphen volumes hyphen from space container 1, and here I just need to give the permissions hyphen privileged is equal to true. Here, okay, here it is going to create the container with the name container 2 by using the image ubuntu, and it is going to use the volume from the container 1, and I had given the permission privileged is equal true. So if I execute this command, so it is throwing error. So here we had made some mistake. Here where I had made mistake, so the spelling of the volume is wrong. Volumes, enter. Here type ll, just check xyz volume is there or not. Yes, xyz volume is there. cd xy tab, enter. Here you are right now instead of the xyz volume, type ll. Here you have the 5 files. So in the earlier, in the container 1, I had in the container 1 xyz volume, I had created the 5 Python files. Because of I had created the container 2 with the same volume, so that's why whatever the files which I had created in the directory, the same files has been replicated here or not. Yes, obviously it is going to replicate here. Here I am going to create some another files. Python 1 to 9. Here type ll. As I already told to you, the container 1 and container 2 right now having the shared volume. Whatever the files which I had added or removed, that will be applicable to the both the containers which are going to share the volume across among them. So type cd and exit control P, control Q, and right now I am going to log on into the container 1 in order to check the same whether the Python 9 files are replicated in the container 1 or not. So what is the command? Docker attach container 1. Here simply type ll and cd x y tab. This is the Docker volume. ll. Are you observing the 9 files? Right now I am in which directory? XYZ directory. Which container? The container 1. Container 1, the containers are different, but the volume is shared volume. So that's why whatever the files are there inside of the directory or inside of the volume, the same will be replicated in all the containers. Means right now you have only 2 containers now, so that's why it is going to replicate in the 2 containers, container 1 and container 2. cd, okay, control P, control Q, just escape. You are exited from the container. This is the thing how we can be able to create the volumes by using the -VTag. So here, as I already told to you, if I want to create the volume, docker through command phase volume docker volume create. I am going to create Sunil. I am going to create one docker volume. The name of the docker volume is Sunil. Yes. If you want to list out that docker volume ls, it is going to reflect all the containers. Here we have one container. This container is going to share among the two containers, container 1, container 2. And I had right now created one container. The name of the container is Sunil. And if I want to remove the container, what is the command? Docker volume remove. I am going to remove the Sunil container now. Enter. Here I just made a mistake. Just enter Sunil only. If you type the same command docker volume ls, it is not going to show the Sunil volume because of just now I had removed the volume Sunil. So that's why it is not going to replicate here. Fine. So here I am going to again, if I want to create the volume once again, what is the command? Docker volume create Sunil. Again it is going to create the volume. Right now I just want to inspect the volume which I had created right now. The command is docker inspect Sunil. So right now I just want to inspect the volume, the Sunil. Enter. Is it going to display each and everything or not? What are the properties which is holding by the Sunil volume? Is it is replicating each and everything or not? Yes. And here assume if you have, just type clear in order to look, just type clear in order to clear the screen. Just assume you have the n number of containers and n number of volumes. Maybe there is a chance there are unused volumes are there. You can't be able to see each and everything. Na? Maybe there is a chance there are unused volumes because maybe you had created some volumes, but because of some issue you are unable to use those volumes. But you just need to free up the memory. Because of that reason, you just need to eliminate the volumes which are not used by any containers. You are not just supposed to remove only single volumes. You are just want to remove all the volumes which are not used by any containers. How that will be achieved? With the help of, I am going to show docker volume prune. Docker volume prune. If you executed this command, it is asking you, this will remove anonymous local volumes or not used by at least one container. As I told you, what are the volumes are there which is not used by any container, it is going to remove by executing this command docker volume prune. Yes. Here I am going to execute the same. Again it is going to ask yes. Total claim 0. There is no things like that. And docker volume ls. And here are you able to see that? Yes. Here if I want to inspect, as I already told you, docker inspect Sunil. So here what is the mount point? Where lib docker volumes data. This is the mount point. So just to copy the path. So in this path we have the data. So I am going to copy this path. Copy and cd. I am going to change the directory to this path. Paste. Enter. Right now you are inside of the data. Just type ll. Here I am going to create some sample files. So touch sample. Right now I am going to create the 6 files. Enter. Type ll. Here are you able to see the 6 sample files now? Yes. Type simple cd. So here if you observe that right now I had the 2 volumes. docker volume ls. So docker volume ls, the Sunil is the volume which I had created through command line interface, and inside of Sunil I have the 6 sample files. So what my requirement is, I just want to mount the Sunil volume or the container which I am going to create. The command is docker run -it -name, and here I am going to create the container 3. The name of the container is container 3, and here I am going to mount the -mount. Okay, and space source. Here what is my source? Sunil, comma, destination. What is the destination here? Here I am going to mention, instead of Sunil, I just want to make some Paytm. Because of last time also we had discussed about the Paytm application, so that's why I just want to make as Paytm. It is a kind of directory or docker volume. The volume which is going to create is the Paytm Ubuntu. I am going to use the Ubuntu image. Here by executing this command, what it will happen? So it is going to create the container with the name container 3, and for the container 3 the source is Sunil, because this is the volume. Whatever the content is there inside of the Sunil volume, it is going to put into the this directory. You can mention the same, but here I am going to change the directory. It is going to create the Paytm directory. Inside of the Paytm directory, it is going to paste the what are the content which is available over the Sunil volume, and it is going to create the container with the help of Ubuntu image. Just press enter. Here type ll. Have you observed the Paytm directory? Yes. Here I have the Paytm directory. I am going to change my directory to Paytm. Paytm. Enter. Here if you type ll, as I have the sample files are there. Yes, I have the sample files are there. I have created 6 sample files now. The 6 sample files has been replicated here. In this way, we can be able to create to mount the volume across the container. Hope you guys understood. And in real time, generally we are using the Docker file. In order for, if I want to copy from local machine to container, in real time I'm going to use the Docker file concept only. But generally, if I want to generally, I'm looking to transfer the data from local to volume by using the command line interface without using the Docker file. How I will be able to do that? I'm going to show it to you. Just type cd control p control q exit. You are just exited from the container tree. Here I am going to run one more command, docker run -it -name container 4. Container 3 has already created and it is running state. So I am going to create one more new container. The name of the container is container 4. Here I am going to use the -v concept. And what is the default user in the AWS when you created any EC2 instance? EC2 user is the default user. Okay. And what is the directory of any users? Home directory. Under home directory, whatever the users which you are going to create in the EC2 instance, our users are created under the home directory. EC2 -user semicolon. Here I am going to create volume 1. Ubuntu. Here what it is going to done is, it is going by executing this command, what will happen, it is going to create the container with the name container 4, and it is going to create the volume 1, and here the volume of the container 4 is volume 1, and inside of the volume, whatever the data we have over the EC2 user, means it is a general user from local machine, it is going to replicate it in the volume 1, and it is going to create the user, means it is going to create the container with the help of Ubuntu image. Enter. Yes, type LL. Here are you able to see what are the things which we have over the EC2 user, the same things has been replicated here in the volume 1 or not. Otherwise, just type CD and exit, or Control P, Control Q. Enter and change data to home. Change data to home EC2 user. Enter LL. So here I have the list of files. So here I am going to create touch natural 129. Enter LL. Had I observed the natural files from 1 to 9? Yes, I had observed. Just type simply CD LL. There is nothing. So right now I am going to check how many containers are running. Docker ps-a. So right now I just want to log on into the container 4, because of it is the container which I had created recently, and it is having the volume 1, and docker attach container 4. So right now just type LL and CD. Here I have the volume now. Volume, just type enter. Volume CD volume 1. So it is not going to, no, CD volume 1. So right now I'm inside of the container for volume. The name of the volume is volume 1. LL. Had I observed the natural files? Yes. Whatever the files which are there in the EC2 user, the same files has been replicated here. Here EC2 user is local user, means whatever the files which I had created locally, the same files has been automatically moved to the volume 1, which lies in the container 4, because of here I had mentioned the copy command, like from local user to container. So in this way we can be able to share the volume. Okay, we had discussed how we can be able to create the volumes by using the Docker file, and at the same time by using -VTag, and we had seen how we can be able to mount the directory on the container. We had covered each and everything. This is all about the Docker volume session, and hope you guys understood my session. Thank you so much for joining into my session, and I'm asking you guys, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon in order to get the recent notification whenever I had uploaded any kind of new content. Then automatically it is going to trigger a notification for you. At the same time, do not forget to share with your friends as well. And thank you so much guys for joining into my session. And I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you. Bye bye.